What is up, guys? We are back at it again for another episode of the Building a Buzz podcast. I'm your host, Justin Buzzi. This week, we'll answer a question that was submitted by Tony McGeehee on Instagram. Don't forget to follow me at J_Buzzi. He asked how people can be most effective with limited time when building a business. A lot of us have full-time jobs or hobbies that take up most of our day, but I wanted to help get you started with what to do with only 1 hour each day. All right, guys, so this week I really wanted to go into depth on spending just a little bit of time every day to make your goals achievable. I think a lot of people stray away from trying to either create a side hustle, or they feel like they can't better themselves in whatever way that they feel because they simply don't have enough time every day to do so. And speaking from experience, guys, I worked 8 to 5, 5 days a week, and then I worked after that to build my company for a year and a half. So I pretty much worked 7 days a week for a year and a half to make my business get off the ground and eventually get to the point that it's at now. So you really have to understand that spending 1 hour every day, 7 days a week, equates to, you guessed it, 7 extra hours every week of fully focused time spent on whatever it is that you want to focus on. So if it's your business, that is 7 hours dedicated directly to growing your business, whatever it may be, building a website, boosting your brand, doing something for social media. If you do that every day of the year, just 1 hour, that's 365 hours in a year that you dedicate directly to whatever your goal is. That equals 15 full 24-hour days just focused on building your brand, building your company, doing something better for yourself. There is so much time that people have that they feel like they don't, so 1 hour every day can really help you get to your goal and help you accomplish these little things along the way to your idea of success. So don't feel like you don't have the time, because it is so easy to find 1 extra hour every day, no matter what it is that you do. You guys, I worked 8 to 5 every day, got home, I was tired, I didn't want to work, but I knew that putting in a little bit of extra time and effort every day would help get my company off the ground and where it is today, pulling in multiple six figures. So don't be afraid to find that extra time and really chase after what it is that you want to do with that extra time that you have. If it's only 1 hour, if it's only 30 minutes, there's extra time every day that you can find to help better yourself or better your business. So don't be afraid to spend a little bit of time every day to make that happen. And so you might ask what I did that 1 extra hour every day and how I spent that hour. So here's a couple things that I did and that I think you can do to help grow your business or better your business in simple ways without spending a whole lot of time and a whole lot of effort. The first one for me was really getting everything updated. Updating social media, updating the website. You always have to maintain, refresh, and update all of these different things that can help your business. And for me, being in the service industry and, being in an industry where a lot of people find me from searching, I had to spend a lot of time updating my website in ways that I knew that search engine optimization and search engine marketing would work better for me. So I would spend a lot of time on YouTube learning about different methods, even on podcasts, learning about different methods of how I can better my SEO strictly from my website. And then from there, I kind of fine-tuned that with my social media and made sure that everything was consistent and up to date. And beyond that, I would also spend time getting new content and making sure that all of that older content was continuously updated. And for me, since I have an experience, that meant that I would have to go out to these different locations and take pictures, take new videos, bring friends out for free so I could have some people doing the activity in the pictures and videos and be able to post that stuff on social media, on my website, and always get refreshed content, updated content. I wanted to make sure that I had enough content I could post every day and it wouldn't feel repetitive for the people that were following me. So that was super important. And while I was doing that, and after I would post, I would try and find new customers on Instagram, Facebook. And I spent all of episode 2 of the podcast talking about ways that you can do so on Instagram and find new customers. So make sure to go check that out if you guys haven't yet, because I think that'll fill in a lot of the blanks here when I talk about finding new customers on social media. I would also spend some of that hour reaching out to bloggers, influencers, and like-minded people. So I would spend time looking for conversation starters in the travel industry world, or the outdoor recreation space around Orlando, around the local area here in Florida. And with doing that, my hopes were that they would end up coming out, doing the experience, and then share it with their following, and I would get some new customers. So I spent a little bit of time every day looking for people like that. And I'll go into depth in later episodes on how I reach out to influencers and bloggers to get them out to experience what my experience and service is. After that, I would also spend time talking to my current customers. I think this is a big one that a lot of people miss, especially at the beginning. You can get so much feedback from your current customers on what they did or didn't like, or maybe think that you could improve upon. And a lot of people are afraid to have that conversation. And this was a big one for me back when I was pursuing music as like a full-time thing. I got a lot of hate, ridicule, whatever you want to call it. And I would actually reach out to these people and say, hey, what did you not like about the song or about me? Like, what is it that you don't like? And a lot of times you might find that people just have irrelevant things to say about what it is that you're doing or saying. And you might just not be able to connect with every person in the world, and that's okay. But once in a while, I would find someone that did have something relevant to say, and I would take that to heart and I would use it when I make my next song or do my next show. There's a lot of people that will help you with constructive criticism, and you kind of just have to weed out the ones that aren't going to be constructive and just want to offer criticism. So don't be afraid to ask your customers what you could have done better. I think by asking that, it not only helps you do it better next time, but it also helps them feel like you really care for what you're doing. And whether it be your business or your personal, it makes them feel a lot more connected to you or your business. And so beyond that, guys, I would also have to spend the time actually giving the tours. So that took up a lot of my extra free time. But being out there allowed me to talk to my customers directly, allowed me to see who my customers were, their ages, their gender, their backgrounds, where they were from. It gave me a lot of insight on who I should be marketing to. So when you guys are actually in your business, make sure to look around and see who's there, who's buying your product, who's using your service, and you can really get a lot of value. And if you're seeing, that most of your customers, for me, for example, 75% of my following on Get Up and Go Kayaking is female. So for me, that meant I should spend more time marketing to females when I'm using Instagram or Facebook. And little things like that have helped me save money along the way and also helped me make money by marketing directly to the people that seem to matter the most to the brand. So after I give all the tours, after I do all of these other things that I've mentioned along the way, it's important to look back and learn, whether it be from a mistake, whether it be from something that you did really well along the way. It's really important to look back and learn from it, whether it be a good decision, a bad decision. There's so many different things that you can just look back quickly and realize what you could have done differently, whether it be better or worse, and really help you make future decisions. So don't be afraid to look around you. Don't be afraid to look backwards. Don't be afraid to talk with your customers. And all of these things, if you just do a little bit of it every day, will start to add up to the bigger picture. And you'll start realizing that marketing to customers is easier. Talking with customers is easier. Being in front of people is easier. Using social media is easier. A lot of these things start to link up together. And once you start spending a little bit of time doing each of these every day, it starts to get easier. So you can spend less time doing some of these tasks and more time spending with your customers or whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it be better yourself, better your business, or better your relationships with people. All of these things will start linking up, and you'll see that you'll be able to better all of this in a quicker amount of time. So ultimately, guys, time adds up. 1 hour every day can really help you get off the ground, start your business, or better yourself in whatever way that you want to better yourself. If you spend 3 hours a day every day for 1 year, that's 1,000 hours, over 1,000 hours in 1 year that you've spent dedicated towards whatever it is that you spent your time towards. So 10 years of doing that, just 3 hours a day, that equals 10,000 hours. And we all know that with 10,000 hours put into anything, you can become a master of it. So the more time, the more effort that you put into it, the more that you'll understand it and the more that you'll get out of it, right? So if you only have 1 hour every day that you can spend to help better your business, better yourself, get something off of the ground, get something started, you don't need a lot of time. You just need a little bit every day. So don't feel overwhelmed if you think that you're missing out because you don't have 10 hours a day that you can put into something, especially if it's a side hustle and something that you need to spend time in to get off the ground. A lot of people think that things are going to take off quickly and they think that they can get rich quick, but you have to play the long game here. You have to put in the time and the effort. Depending on what it is, right? There's some things in life that may happen quicker than other things, but for the most part, if you put in the time, you put in the effort, you'll see that it will pay off. And those are just a couple of my tips on how to do so. I'll go into depth more into some of these topics in future episodes, but I really wanted to answer that question that Tony submitted on Instagram. I think it's a really important question because a lot of people seem to be so afraid just to spend a little bit of time every day on something that they want to better. So don't be afraid, guys. Make sure to follow along at J_Buzzi. Make sure to subscribe to the episodes. Someone felt like they needed to leave me a 3-star review on the first episode. So please go on Apple Podcasts and leave me a 5-star review. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This is the Building a Buzz podcast. I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a great day. Peace.